I just don't know why you have to be like that about guys posting comments on mine when girls can post on yours.
I don't really get as much attention, though. You're the one getting hundreds and hundreds of flirty comments on your Instagram.
But it's not you.
So, it's still guys.
It doesn't matter. And what about your comments?
It's mostly just my guy friends supporting me.
Then what about all those private DMs?
What private DMs?
The private DMs from those girls. I went through your phone when you were sleeping.
Why would you do that?
Because
Because why?
there was something that I knew was going on.
Baby, I love you and only you.
I don't know. I just need some time to think right now. Hello? What do you mean? No, it's him. He's doing the same. What email are you talking about? Oh, wow. I've heard of this guy. He's a really awesome psychic. I didn't know he had a show. Let's go check him out.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a psychic reading on Jojo. For those of you that do not know who she is, you know, she had a lot of hits as a young teenager, a young girl, a child in the music industry. She has been in the industry for many years. But if you don't know a little bit about the background of her, she's a singer, songwriter, performer. And the list just goes on of, you know, she has a very angelic, ethereal type of voice. I really like Jojo. I'm a big fan. And if you don't know about what has happened to her, you know, she went through some problems with her record company where she was like, kind of like her hands were tied. You know, very similar to like Kesha, where she wasn't able, you know, to produce music for a certain amount of time and blah blah blah. Well, a lot of that happened to Jojo, and basically a lot of, you know, her popularity and things like of that nature kind of took a back burner, but she still had her core fans, right, that have followed her. Fast forward to now, you know, she is a powerhouse. She is with her own businesses, you know, her own music. She went independent, but you know, she's still now working with Warner Music, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so she is coming out with an album sometime in the springtime of this year. It's tentatively scheduled for release. I'm so stoked about it. I believe it's called Joanna. I'm very happy and very excited for Jojo, because this girl has been through hell and back. She's been through a lot. And I know that sounds kind of cliched when we talk about artists, because a lot of artists out there go through this. But I really do feel like she's a very strong person. When I tune into her soul, I do see someone that is very strong. But still there is this fragileness to her. And I feel like she's been through so much stuff in her life that she is not someone that is going to find happiness easily. Like, I'm not saying that she is scarred for life, but on a spiritual level, when you go through shit that like Jojo went through and a lot of other people in this world go through, you don't have to be an artist or a celebrity to go through it. You could be going through, you know, childhood abuse, or maybe through a drug addiction, and you come out of it. You know, you don't come out of it the same. And Like with her, I just see, there's a lot of strength and power as to who she is right now as a female in the industry. And I feel like she had to go through all of this very young, at a very young age, to kind of mold her and keep her spiritually humble and awoken. Because you cannot say the same for a lot of artists out there. A lot of people, when they get a certain amount of fame, they change, they turn obnoxious. It's all about the money, very superficial. And I feel like with her, she has stayed very true to her roots, and she doesn't take money for granted at all, because again, she knows the struggles out there, and that the industry ultimately cares about numbers, and it's a number game for them. As long as you're profitable to them and you're making the money, then they're going to be happy with you. But the moment that you want to get your masters, or you want to have an independence or a creative vision of your own, a lot of these companies don't want to hear your sound or your thoughts. They think that they know what's best for you as an artist or as a person. It's kind of like if you start a job and your boss tells you, you can do it the way you want to, this report, and then you give it to them the way that you were going to do it, and they're like, no, this is not right, I need this, I want it highlighted this way, I want it this way, I want it that way, I want this report to just look entirely different. And I'm using this kind of like an analogy as an example, because that is what JoJo went through, and I feel like she is coming out of this, and coming out of it stronger. And I feel like her lessons for the remaining part of her life are going to be easier, and it's a smoother road for her up ahead, because she's been through so much toxicity. I do feel like there is a guy in her life right now. This could be a friend. It doesn't have to be sexual, romantic. Only JoJo would know, that is going through some issues right now. I feel like this person could possibly be in the music industry himself. And I see him kind of like leaving behind, leaving whatever he's doing kind of behind and going to a different venture. And I feel like JoJo's going to be there for him. Again, she's very strong. She's a natural healer. She's very spiritually awakened. I believe like she's spiritually guided and has a strong, keen sense of psychic abilities. It's in her eyes, it's in her energy, her aura. You can just tell. For her, like I said, in this lifetime, it's going to be very difficult for her to find happiness, because she's been through so much. But she will have moments where she's happy, but she's always going to be reminded by the past. It's like the past will always haunt her, even though she is healed and she is a stronger version of herself. But I see this year going forward, that money wise, financially, things are looking good for JoJo. I see her with new opportunities, new contracts that are being signed for, like sponsors and things like that, new gigs that she's going to be doing, like collaborating with other artists. And so she's reinvented herself in so many ways, and I feel like her album is going to have so much good content that it's going to kind of remind us of why we fell in love with JoJo when she first came out on the scene. That voice, because she's always had that voice. She doesn't need auto-tune or studio enhancements to make her voice beautiful. She naturally has that talent. Again, very intuitive. I feel like she's going to rely throughout her lifetime on her intuitive abilities, but she sometimes doubts herself, and that's natural, because we all, when things are not going our way, we start to tend to doubt ourselves or doubt that we're making the right decisions. But for her, Spirit is saying that, she is on the right path. She's making the right decisions. I feel like people are not going to be able to, like blackball her or like, take advantage of her anymore, because she's not going to let them, and that's a good thing. But I do feel like on an emotional level, she is experiencing some kind of withdrawal at certain times. I feel like the month of May will be difficult for her spiritually and mentally, even though that there are ways that she can turn this around by kind of aligning herself with the good friends that she has, the people that love her and care about her. I don't know what is coming up with May of 2020. It could be very well that she is feeling the distance between her and someone else. I do feel like there is something there. I also feel like in the future she's going to collaborate with Mariah Carey. I know that she already did, like, it was on Mariah's Instagram where she had done like a little cover with Mariah's background vocalist and Mariah Carey, but I do feel like there is definitely some kind of album collaboration in the future, which I wouldn't think that it would be out of the table. I do think that Mariah is very fond of her and really does adore Jojo in many ways. For Jojo, though, this year, I feel like this year and going forward in her career, she does still need to be careful. I do feel like there's some people that are very jealous. This could be very well the people that she's left behind in the record companies that are just jealous and angry and upset that, you know, they haven't forgotten that she's left them and that there were legal issues looming. And I feel like a lot of this is like people trying to still tarnish her name. So we will see like headlines and things of that nature where people are attacking her, other artists from those labels, being shady, or she goes to a situation to like a nightclub, you know, or a club, not a nightclub, but a club in general where she's going to be performing, or not even performing, maybe just going meeting up some friends, you know, and watching a performance of someone else. And there's a shady female, you know, that is, unfortunately, I have to say she is African American. I'm not trying to, you know, talk bad about anyone, but I see that there will be a confrontation with an African American female who is jealous of Jojo, and really and truly she shouldn't be jealous, because I feel like this other person is an up and coming artist, and just, you know, feels like, you know, Jojo owes her something. I don't know, you know, some females can be very difficult to understand in some ways, and I don't mean that in I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean like some shady females can be like that, just like shady males can be that way, and you don't have to do anything to be against them, but they're going to still be that way. So, you know, the best thing for her, because Jojo does have a temper and can respond to that, is to walk away from that negativity. It doesn't serve you anymore, Jojo. It doesn't serve, you know, it doesn't serve her anymore in this lifetime. I see her working very hard this year and going into next year. I also feel like if she is not seeing someone romantically, quote unquote, there is a possibility for a male. I do see a male who is either Caucasian or he has like some type of Jewish background. I feel like he might not be in the industry, and then he could be. Spirit is not too clear what they're showing me, but I kind of feel like what they're showing me is that he's not in the industry. He may be like into like a regular type of career field. It could be a doctor or someone of that nature that just has like a typical career that is not in the industry. And I feel like there's going to be some vibes here. He's very good looking, very handsome, beautiful eyes, beautiful facial bone structure, very physically kind of like he takes care of himself, financially stable, and he's very connected and a romantic, and he's going to want to give to Jojo. There's some relationship that is going to be budding over the next 2 to 3 years with this gentleman that I see coming in. But I do feel like for her, she is going to have moments still, even though she is that beautiful singer and, you know, performer. She's going to have moments where she wants to be isolated from people. And I think for her, since she is like a psychic empath, in many ways, it's going to be good for her to have those moments where she's like by herself in her home, in her living space, and just chilling out, watching Netflix, eating some popcorn, and doing something like that on a very basic level. Because for her, I feel like she wants to always kind of maintain that certain level of commonality, of not being like, you hear that word basic bitch, and people use it so loosely. I don't feel like Jojo is basic on any level, but I do feel like she's very humble, and she wants to feel like a human being, not like a celebrity all the time. And so it's going to be important for her to integrate into her life those moments where she's not in front of the camera, where she is not followed by, you know, people that are fans and signing autographs and having some privacy in her own life. That's going to be essential for her. I also feel like she may be going through some type of cosmetic procedure over the next couple of years. There could be something that she wants to change on her body, and Spirit says that it's going to be okay, and it's good if she does do it, because again, this is going to help her, and I'm all for that myself. If you get to a point where you want to basically change or modify a part of your body, this is your body. It's nobody else's business what you do to your own body, and I feel like this is going to be good for her, and it's going to help her. I feel like this may have to do with her it may have to do with some part of her lower body, okay? But I see this going on. For her, I don't know what it is about children. Something comes in very strongly, like being a mother. I feel like she's thought about that, but I know that she knows that time is kind of ticking. Again, she has to be in the right situation and the right partner in order to have children. But I do see, in the possibility in the future. Now, I don't know if this is her giving birth, which I feel like it would be, but I feel like within the next 5 to 7 years, we will see, if not sooner, her having a child. And I do get that this would be a female child. I don't know why it runs in the family where, I don't know if it runs in the family where a lot of the females have female children, but I see that. And I see happiness for her further on out, once her career is kind of like more taken off. Like what I mean by taken off, meaning like she gains more traction and focus again, because she's still young. She's in her 30s, she's very young still, but she's going to have different people that are interested in her. But ultimately, I feel like the guy that I see that's has dark hair, dark eyes, is the one that's going to be her soulmate. There will be someone else that is European that is interested in her, but I don't feel like there's going to be a click there, other than just being like a friend. There wouldn't be any growth in that area for her. So again, very excited about her future. I'm very excited about her album. I feel like positive vibes for her, just to keep her level of awareness and keep her feet grounded and stand up for herself in every situation. But she's doing all the right decisions. She's making all the right moves, and her career is going to continue to flourish. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. If you haven't been sending me your questions, remember Tea with Spirit Season 3 is coming back on March 25th. Email me at celebritypsychicmediumray@gmail.com. And if you are someone out there that is looking for like spiritual oils, jewelry, crystals, look at my shop. I have all of those things in my shop. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world.